What if I told you that a small island with fewer people than Texas could determine the fate of global superpowers? Taiwan, home to just 23 million people, sits at the epicenter of what many experts consider the world's most dangerous geopolitical flashpoint. This democratic island, smaller than Switzerland, has become the unlikely stage where China and the United States are writing the next chapter of international relations. Every military exercise, every diplomatic statement, and every trade agreement involving Taiwan sends ripples across global markets and capitals. The question isn't whether this tension will define our century, but how quickly it might reshape everything we know about global power dynamics. The geography of global stakes, the strategic placement makes Taiwan the gatekeeper of some of the world's most critical maritime highways. For China, these passages represent their gateway to becoming a true global naval power, while for the United States, both China and the United States desperately need these chips, creating a delicate balance where economic interdependence meets geopolitical rivalry in ways that could reshape how nations think about war and peace. They form the backbone of what military strategists call the first island chain, America's defensive perimeter in the Pacific. The communist victory on the mainland sent the defeated nationalist government fleeing to Taiwan, creating a unique situation where two governments claimed to represent one China. This wasn't just a political split. It was the beginning of a frozen conflict that has lasted over 7 decades. Taiwan produces an astounding 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors through companies like TSMC. These aren't just computer chips. They're the digital DNA of modern civilization, powering everything from smartphones to fighter jets to artificial intelligence systems. President Xi Jinping has made Taiwan's reunification central to his vision of national rejuvenation, viewing it as essential to restoring China's historical greatness and erasing the wounds of past defeats. Nearly 40% of global trade passes through the waters surrounding this island, making it far more than just another territorial dispute. Beijing has embarked on the most ambitious naval modernization program in modern history, building aircraft carriers, advanced destroyers. I's goal isn't necessarily to match the U.S. Navy ship for ship, but to make any American intervention so costly and risky that Washington might think twice about coming to Taiwan's aid. Taiwanese citizens have developed a unique perspective on their precarious situation. They've lived under the shadow of potential conflict for so long that it has become part of their daily reality. Polls consistently show that most Taiwanese prefer maintaining the current status quo rather than rushing toward either independence or unification. And submarine fleets at a pace that has surprised even seasoned military analysts. Over the past few decades, the island has transformed from a military dictatorship into one of Asia's most vibrant democracies, complete with free elections, independent media, and progressive social policies. How this story unfolds will depend not just on the decisions made in Beijing and Washington. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this complex situation. If you found this analysis helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Minecrafted for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. What other geopolitical flashpoints would you like us to explore next? Your engagement helps us create the content that matters most to understanding our rapidly changing world. But on the choices of allies, the resilience of global institutions, and perhaps most crucially, the voices of the Taiwanese people themselves. Many Taiwanese feel caught between superpowers, describing themselves as pawns in a game where their own voices are often drowned out by the competing narratives of Beijing and Washington. Their newest aircraft carrier, the Fujian, represents China's determination to project power far beyond its coastal waters. If Taiwan falls under Chinese control, allies like Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines might question America's ability to protect them, potentially unraveling the security architecture that has kept the Pacific relatively peaceful since World War II. Washington officially recognizes Beijing as China's legitimate government, while simultaneously maintaining unofficial ties with Taiwan and serving as its primary arms supplier. This deliberate ambiguity, known as strategic ambiguity, is designed to prevent both Chinese invasion and Taiwanese independence declarations. It embodies the clash between different visions of global order. China's rising authoritarianism versus America's established democratic alliance system. The outcome of this competition will likely determine not just Taiwan's fate, but the broader question of which political and economic model will shape the 21st century. Picture Taiwan's location for a moment. Just 100 miles from mainland China's coast, perfectly positioned like a cork in a bottle. Taiwan controls three vital choke points that connect China to the Pacific Ocean: the Taiwan Strait to the west, the Miyako Strait to the north, and the Bashi Strait to the south. The silicon shield that powers our world. Here's a staggering fact. The device you're reusing to watch this video likely contains technology that could only have been made in one place on Earth. This technological dominance has created what experts call Taiwan Silicon Shield. The island has become so essential to global supply chains that any disruption could trigger worldwide economic chaos. Echoes from a century of humiliation. To understand today's tensions, we must journey back to 1949, when China's civil war split a nation in two. For Beijing, Taiwan represents the final chapter in overcoming what Chinese leaders call their Century of Humiliation. The period from the 1840s to 1940s, when foreign powers carved up Chinese territory. America's Pacific chess game, the United States finds itself walking a diplomatic tightrope that would challenge even the most skilled acrobat. America's commitment to Taiwan extends far beyond the island itself. It's about maintaining the alliance system that has anchored U.S. influence in Asia for decades. The dragon's rising naval ambitions. China isn't sitting idle while America strengthens its Pacific alliances. This military buildup serves a clear strategic purpose: developing what Pentagon planners call anti-axis area denial capabilities designed to keep American forces at bay during any potential conflict. Voices from the crossroads, perhaps most importantly, we must listen to the people whose lives hang in the balance of this great power competition. This pragmatic approach reflects a deeper truth about Taiwan's democratic evolution. The future hangs in the balance as we stand at this crossroads of history. Taiwan represents far more than a territorial dispute between two superpowers. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the timeline appears to be accelerating. What do you think? Could this small island really reshape global power dynamics?